Clarence Williams, another edition of trip that made to London, to uh, Europe back in 2023, and I've been having some difficulty with my computing with the camera, and so I have upgraded it. Hopefully that it is going to go smoothly a little bit better so that I can finish Venice. I've been trying to do Venice for about 4 times now, and every time that I do it, it starts skipping, and so I didn't like that, so I erased it. Hopefully, I can finish it and get it done, get it on the media so that you can see something of Venice. Maybe it can enlighten you. It can entice you if you're going in that part of the country, that you will make a special trip to go through Venice and see some of the things that will be seen on this particular video. Clarence Williams, let's get started with this particular video. Now, we did this, Sister Claire and myself, did this in August. We were in Venice on the 28th of August. We spent about, I would say, about uh, 30, 35 days through the different countries, 6 countries, and 15 different cities. And so we have a lot of experience, a lot to show you. We've seen a lot. And so we're going to just get into this Venice thing and see, can we get it completed for you. I am standing on the bridge that will take you from the parking lot, the parking area, over into the actual city of Venice. There is no uh, automobile transportation that is beyond this particular point. And so I will show you where the bus comes in. You can get there by bus, you can get there by train or taxi or what have you, but then you park and then you get off and you actually walk across this particular bridge into the city of Venice. And so this is the beginning of the trip. Venice, it says it's a capital. It's a capital city, the northern Veneto region of Italy, and certainly about there's over 100, because one thing says there's about 118 different lagoons that Venice is built on, and it was built during the 5th century. That tells you and tells me that certainly people had certain skills, ingenuity back during that time in order to do something or to build something like this on all of this water. And how uh, could they do this? And these buildings are still in existence to this particular day. That is great ingenuity. But they did this back in the 5th century. And so I'm walking into Venice. I'm walking on something that were constructed back during the 5th century. That's just amazing to me. It excites me to be able to be witness to of that. Just a great blessing from God to be able to do that. Now, this is a map of Venice, and you can see these different names there: the Castello, San Marco, San Polo. These are different communities, which I did not know. These are different communities. And if you look at this little backward S, the little backward S, that is the Grand Canal. And it snakes itself all the way through Venice. And at one time you had gondolas That's those little boats, little canoes, and then you have the man up there, and he's sticking his stick in the ground and pushing it along. But now it's more commercialized, and you have all types of commercial vessels that you can jump on and off, and each one of them stops. The commercial vessels, kind of like a taxi on the water, they stops at each one of these different communities, and that's how people gets around. You know, keep on getting off and homes of visitors shopping you. And not only do they stop at these communities, they also stop at these different sites, visit sites that you can just get on and you can get off and go see this particular church, what have you, whatever your interest is. So easy to get around. So easy to get around. This is another picture or map that I'm showing you, but it's all pretty much the same. I'm standing again on this bridge going over into Venice. Now, before you get to that bridge, this is the bridge that you're going across to get into Venice. This is the bridge you're going across from the hotel where we were staying, and then you get on the bus, get on a train. If you have your own transportation, you just drive and then you ride that. And this is about a five miles bridge. And you get there, you ride all the way across, and then there's a parking area on the other side of this bridge where you park, and then you walk across that particular bridge that I was sharing with you. This is a very the Ponte Rialto. This is a bridge. Now, the Grand Canal spans from 100 feet to different areas where it can span from one side to the other 225 feet. But there's about 3 different bridges that I noticed that you can go from one side to the other side. I'm going to show you later where there's another bridge, but this is the famous bridge here. The arch of this bridge is about 24 feet. The arch of it is about 24 feet. And it was built on about 12,000 wooden pylons over 400 years ago. Now, how could those wood pylons stay there that long without deterioration, rotting, or whatever? But they are still there, and this bridge is still standing. It is enclosed. You can notice that it's enclosed. It's a very popular bridge. So now, if the span of the Grand Canal is anyone from anywhere from 100 feet to 225 feet, I'm thinking this bridge here would be pretty much in that 100 feet area, in that area where it will span over from one area, one side of the canal to the other side. These are other 2 pictures that I took of it, and you can see it is a beautiful, beautiful bridge. This is the San Toma. This is a church. This is a church. Now you can see now when I took this picture, I am on the inside of one of these taxi boats. There's an area you can stand at, but I am on the inside and I'm shooting through the glass and I'm shooting at this particular church here. There are churches on both sides, and I talked about the different communities. This church here is located in the San Pablo. That's where this particular church is located. And you could stop and get off of that particular taxi and then go to that particular church, walk along. If it's open, you can go inside. The San Staris is another church, but now this one is on the Santa Claus side of the canal. So along the canal, you're getting off, at your pleasure, and you just visit visiting different things, or you're just riding as we did, just rode along and taking pictures of it. This church was said it was built in the 11th century, and then it was reconstructed in the 17th century. Me being a contractor, mostly all of the construction is done on water on a barge, and I'll show you one of the pictures of a barge that I took. This is Sister Claire sitting inside of that taxi boat that just taking you along. And there are not, there are many of them. It's not just one. I mean, they just keep rock where it comes and down and go whichever way, that you are going. And if you look up at the board of it, you will see all of those different names of the communities, and you will also see the names of those different structures, churches, monuments, whatever it is, plazas that you may want to go see. You just get off and you go. Everything is done on the water. Victoria Emmanuel is a statue of a famous guy. Now, when you get to Rome, there is another monument. It's not just a statue. I mean, it's a whole building, Victoria Emmanuel. And I'm going to show you that one once we get to Rome, which Rome is going to be right after this particular video. Now, what I was trying to ascertain by reading whether this is the same Victoria Emmanuel as the one that is honored in Rome. I didn't find that out, so I don't know. I do not know. San Marco. This is the one of the communities that you will go. In fact, San Marco is the most famous community of all of the communities. This is the Basilica of Santa Maria, a beautiful church and huge church. Now we're just going down the Grand Canal, and all of these different buildings and all of these churches and all of these structures is just right there. This boat right here is one of the, I would say, most favorite boats that was being purchased, because this particular boat or something similar to it is all over the canal. I also found out that the canal monitors, or it limits traffic. It limits speed and it limits traffic. So anyone just can't get in a boat and just go flying up and down the canal because of the waves. This thing is right on the water. The Grand Canal, as I said, now it's about 2 miles long. And we went the whole about 2 miles long, and it's on both sides. I said it was 100 to 100 and 225 feet across, and it's just beautiful. Everything that is there you can see on this Grand Canal. And as you're riding down it, you're taking pictures, or you're just viewing, or you're just in awe of all of the different structures and different buildings. They says it's about 17 feet deep at, I guess, its deepest area. It's about 17 feet deep. I was trying to figure out how those gondolas, sticking the poles in the water, that be kind of long pole, to stick it down there, because I see it sticking up, but then you have to find the bottom of it to mash it to push that boat along. The rest of the things modernized, they just have a motor that they're going along. This is me taking a selfie. You look at the sidewalk. Now, most of it does not have sidewalk. Some buildings along the canal, the water just right up there. And then there are some areas beautiful place. I just love that. I love being there, you know. Oh, I speed it there. Here I am now. I guess Sister Claire is taking this picture. Look at the sidewalk, you know, just wide, and you can just walk along there. And then look to the side, look to the right now. That's a barge, and that barge is there, and I'm pretty sure it's now uh, doing some type of renovation on one of those buildings. That's a barge, and everything works off of that barge. There are some barges that will hold a large crane that is sitting on that barge, and then that crane is lifting uh, structures, wood, steel beams, or what have you. But everything is done on that particular on that barge. Look at the water right up against. Uh, I also read that there is uh, a system that monitors the height of that water. It keeps it at that particular height to keep it from flooding, you know. So you have a elaborate system that is controlling the height of the water. You also have another system has to have for the garbage, you know, how they dispose of their garbage and everything. Everything is there to maintain this beautiful city. This is one of the taxes. You know, we are on one going one way, and there's another one going back the other way, and you're going to pass them constantly. You know, it's more than just one, two, three, or five, or 10. It's a lot of them. And then you also have these little small boats that is on there. Look at that brown boat. That's another one of those. Then you have the other taxi type boat there. You know, it's just so much going. This is a little small boat. It's raining, and that doesn't stop people. In fact, it was raining, drizzling rain, when we were there. Sometimes we got on the inside, and sometimes we was on the outside of the boat on the uncovering area, just taking pictures and walking along. Here's the gondola, and that's what I was telling you about that pole. 17 feet deep, and that's not in all areas, but depending on where you're going, you're gonna have to be able to go on down to that bottom and push yourself along along the way. This is a gondola now. I took a lot of pictures of the canal, different shots as we were going. But then we're going to open up into the Adriatic Sea. At the end of this canal, it pulls into the Adriatic Sea. And I mean, it is huge. And I thought at that time, it was going to turn around. No, we went right on across the Adriatic Sea, and then we turned around and then came back. This is another picture of that particular barge. Just different pictures. Look at this one. Look at this one. Now, little canals that is running into that Grand Canal, and these little canals is going in between certain buildings. And then once you go, let's say you live there and your home was back in that community, you would come and then your little boat will go right on down in there to your home. Just amazing how people lived or how they are living. See the boats tied to the dock on the side there. Other boats tied to the side of the dock. Now we're in the Adriatic. This is huge. This is a large body of water. And you see those two steeples sticking up. I marked one as the St. Mark's Square, and the other one is the Dog Palace. And I'm going to show you more of that. This is San Marco, which is San Marco. This is the most famous palace square in Venice. We didn't go in; we just stayed on the boat. But certainly, this is St. Mark's Square. is in uh, San Marco, in the community of San Marco. And then you see it now, we're looking at it from the Adriatic. See again, I marked both of them. Now, this is the Dog Palace. Dog Palace is political. This is where the ruling family, the dog state, is also political body. It's has lavish, it's a lavish complex. It has law courts, administrative offices, courtyards, grand stairways, ballrooms, and then it says at the bottom of it, I guess maybe in the basement area or what have you, this was a prison. Now, whether they still have it there now, I don't know. But this is just a history of the uh, the Dog Palace. Took a picture of San Marco. This is another bridge. This is another bridge. See, this bridge is not covered. You know, it's just across. And so this probably would be another area where it, somewhere around 100 feet across, but you can go from one side over to the other side. The boats that are just docked on that, uh, close to those buildings, what have you. We're back looking at the other boats now. They're just traveling along the water. Look at that beautiful building. That's a church. Beautiful. Sister Claire took a picture of her. We're in the Adriatic now, Adriatic Sea. In fact, you could take the Adriatic Sea and you can go all the way to Rome just traveling on this on the Adriatic Sea. This is a National History Museum. That's the one on the right that has the banner on it. That's a museum. We didn't go in there, but that is a museum. That's a closer picture of a museum. This is the end. I made it through. Praise the Lord. Amen. Hopefully, when I look back at it, that there was no glitches or anything. But thank you so much for viewing. Like it. Please subscribe. Give some comments. Write some comments. And then the next one, the Lord's willing, I'm going to show you going cross country all up into the mountains. We are on the bus going to Rome. It took us. The scenery is just beautiful. I've looked at some television movies that was, being shot there in that particular area back during the time of the war, the Second World War, with Germany and the United States and France and what have you. And they were making these different movies, wartime movies, and they did most of the shootings in those areas that we were traveling, going from Venice to Rome. And I can see all the tunnels that the bus was going through, the tunnels that the train was going through, all of the different communities along the way. That is very amazing. Thank you so much again. Just hope, trust that you have liked this, that something has been of value to you. You can Google, look it up, and just do some more investigations or what have you. But again, I thank you for taking time to see this particular video. May God continue to bless you and help you. This is my prayer for